Are you stuck in a lukewarm trap? Do you feel like by being lukewarm, you are keeping the peace? Being lukewarm, people think that they are being strategic. People think by being lukewarm, which means just being neutral, not choosing a side, that they're being balanced and causing harmony amongst the group. There's this popular show on YouTube that first came into mind when I started thinking about this. Basically, it's like statements that are made and there is a spectrum of if you strongly disagree or strongly agree, and then all those little nuances in between. And then you'll see that people will walk to the designated line that they actually agree with. A lot of times, these statements are hot takes, and what's so funny is witnessing somebody be so confident in walking toward a line, like they're just beeline for it basically, and then just to turn around to look at where everybody is, and they are the one that is opposite to the majority of the collective. It's so crazy to witness somebody get so triggered by seeing that they are the odd one out. And stay with me here, you see that the people will then start to question the decision that they so confidently made just because they are the one that has the opposite opinion. So, why am I bringing this forward today? Is because by being lukewarm, it does more harm than good. Now, the person that is being the lukewarm person, they really probably believe that they are keeping the peace, that they are keeping the harmony, that they are doing the right thing by not disrupting the system or disrupting the environment or whatever ecosystem is in place. Because by being the odd one out, you draw attention and you draw potentially negative energy towards you. So, by avoiding this, by avoiding making the decision that most people don't follow, now there are cases where balance is needed and where balance is good because we don't want just the extremes. Today, I'm looking through the lens of when we're talking about being lukewarm is not benefiting anyone. So, we're not talking about when balance is key, okay? Because on my channel, I really want to emphasize that everything is due to context. The type of lens that we decide to put on is due to context of the situation, and also context of the person and where they are at in their journey. One piece of advice for this person versus this person is may not sit the same at the same time. However, it may sit well at different periods of their life, at different points. So this is the thing that I really want to eventually ingrain in my viewers and understand that this is a philosophy that I also live by. I do not meet people where I expect them to be already. Within reason, yes. However, I meet them where they are. Because when you meet them where they are able to meet you back. And it's not like it's some crazy long shot that I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit. As someone who is able to see and observe people and know what is best for them, okay, I don't want to say it like that, but know the potential that they hold, there is a level of understanding how much is too much, right? So, this is what I want to help and ingrain in my viewers and just my people because this is the philosophy I live by. And honestly, I believe that everybody should adopt this philosophy because once we do, we will be so much easier on the people and the people in our relationships and understanding that everybody is at different places in their lives and that we can't expect and put that expectation because it's unrealistic. So, when it comes back to being lukewarm, having opinions is hot. Knowing your stance on something is hot. It's magnetic because that means that you are grounded in knowing who you are and comfortable enough to speak your truth. So, the illusion of being lukewarm is that you don't help anyone. You really don't because you basically keep this facade going that hey, we're just going to keep going around this problem or around this thing because I don't want to be the one to tip the scale. So, it is ultimately a disservice that you are doing to yourself, first and foremost, because you are not being authentic to yourself. and then also to the collective or the people around you, because you are not showing up authentically. That means whatever is being projected is also not of your highest expression. Okay, so I'm like, as I'm speaking, I'm like, yeah, I guess you could be showing up authentically in that moment if that's what you know at that time. So we're gonna say as like your highest expression. By being lukewarm, you are saying that your voice does not matter. You are saying that I'd rather be invisible than make a statement that makes me feel more seen and visible. So ultimately, if you are not vibrating at the highest expression that you can, it all trickles and ripples out to everybody else. Okay. So that is something that I've noticed with people who just want to be lukewarm. And you probably, as I'm talking about this, you probably can, have a couple people or names, pictures of their faces come up through your head, because this is a like trait that trickles into everything. Okay. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. So for my next point, I want to talk about how unpopular opinion or like an unpopular stance on something that causes people to go like, what do you mean? Like, tell me more, right? That energy of people being like, tell me more. Some people can receive that as like, oh, like a personal hit, almost like they are being judged. And even though that person that's coming to them might be just very curious, but the way that they express it comes out as like, depending on who you are, you may feel like, oh my God, that's a lot, right? So then you may even go back into your shell even more. So the thing with that is like everyone has their own way of speaking, and yes, there is a general understanding of the tone and how we're supposed to speak to certain types of people, right? Because you're not going to speak to an elder the same that you would like your friend. Well, maybe you would, but for me, growing up as a Korean American, a very traditional family style, like our elders, we have a lot of respect to our elders, and there's a certain way that you move and handle and speak to your elders. And that is something that I still very much hold to my heart, because I just feel like that's right. I feel like that's right because I value wisdom and I honor and respect wisdom, and the wisdom that is gained from living a life longer than I have is also very valuable. And so that is something that, just because I also believe that age is just a number, yes. But it's about the respect and honoring the space and everyone's own unique journey, okay? And understanding that spirit, God, can speak through and flow through anyone. So it's not about judging what comes out of somebody's mouth, but really trying to see it from an unbiased observational perspective before you let any judgments really like take front center. So going back to this, nobody wants to have the unpopular opinion, nobody wants to tilt the scale. I want to shift it into like a different perspective that you can look at it, right? So there's another show that I watched called, I think it's like To Catch a Millionaire. It's on Netflix. They had a second season already, which is there's a group of people and somebody is the millionaire. The box of money that has the $1 million goes from person to person randomly. And this person, if you have it, you have to act like you don't have it. And a lot of times throughout the show, people are like, oh, I don't want the $1 million right now because of X, Y, and Z. There are, I think, more beneficial periods to have the box. So if you know the show, then you know what I'm talking about. But then there's people that are like, oh, I don't want the $1 million, especially the first guy. When he got it, he was like, oh, he's like, oh my God, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, basically. And you saw it all on his face. He was not able to hide it very well. But the fact that he didn't want it, but they're all there for the core purpose of wanting the $1 million, do you see what's happening here? Do you see how it's like the $1 million, the lottery, winning that is almost like the 1%, let's say, right? The chances of you winning that is like one in a whatever. So that is the same as almost like having an unpopular opinion. When you are the one person, let's say a very small group of people who have a certain opinion, then the majority have another opinion. So you don't want to tilt the scale, but when it comes to having $1 million that is perceived as something good, you all of a sudden were like, yeah, actually, let me be that one. You know what I mean? So we're seeing it from a lens of feeling, of like emotion that is then tied to ego and tied to this human character part of us, the personality part of us. Whereas when it comes down to the energy aspect of each thing, it's kind of the same because lottery, one in a million, right? One in a billion, whatever. And then also having an unpopular opinion that leaves you as a small fraction compared to the whole. You see? So it's like you don't want to be this, but you want this, but they're the same. I hope you can follow me and understand where I'm going with that. Everybody wants to win the lottery, be that single person that wins it, but nobody wants to have that unpopular opinion. Nobody wants to be that one person with that opinion and also be able to hold it down. The middle part is invisible. You are invisible. It's basically like you saying, "All right, let me put this cloak on. Don't see me. My opinion doesn't matter." Okay, it's basically that. So if that's what you want, I mean, do it. But the way that you are, how you do everything, is trickles out into other aspects of your life. And maybe you don't see it, but if there's somebody that observes you and someone around you that really does know you, this is very obvious. So, yes, it comes down to there is an avoidance of wanting to be seen and a fear regarding visibility that if I say this thing and it causes a ripple effect of negative actions or people's emotions and reactions, then am I able to sit in that uncomfortableness and still stay true to what I know that is true to me? Or am I going to sway my decisions, sway everything into the favor of what the other people are seeing me as? That all has to do again with visibility. You are just not comfortable being seen. You are not comfortable vocalizing that which you need. And it's okay if you're at that point. It's okay to admit if you're at that point because the first step into healing or working through anything is admitting that there is a problem, admitting that there is something that is off, something that is misaligned. And so all we're doing is just recalibrating and realigning ourselves. And that's going to take some work and self development. A lot of people avoid this because they don't want to do the self development. And it's like, all right, then you're just going to stay the same. And that's not the name of the game. All right. So the people who move, motion is energy, energy and motion, getting that going. Getting that going is what's going to bring you true transformation in this life. And it's a lot easier than you expect. All you got to do is break it down as little as possible, that which you can digest, and you start from there. Beautiful. So now, what is the hidden cost of being lukewarm? We discussed multiple things already, but the main thing that I want to tell you is that you can ignore it. You can. You can push it off. You can. The thing is, though, that is so dangerous is that it's silent. It's a silent, silent killer. And the more that you lean into that silence, into being invisible, into ignoring, that shit compounds. Compounds. And before you know it, you have been suffocated. Before you know it, you have been already eaten whole. So the longer you go without choosing, the longer you go without knowing who you are and forgetting and ignoring those signals from your intuition. And it compounds quietly before you realize, like, oh my gosh, wait, how did I get here? And I think the saddest part is that many people don't even know, like, they don't even know that they're that person. Don't be that person, okay? Like, again, what I said about people who know you and observing you and know you to be the person that just is lukewarm. I'm sorry, but like you can get easily manipulated and people can easily use you for their own gain and benefit because they know that you're like this. You're able to, and you do not want to be that person. It's again going back to like the millionaire. show. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm laughing because this is like perfect. They all like use, maybe his name's Kevin. They all use him because they know he's gullible and they know that his stance can easily change. I want to see if I can like put some clips here or something, or you guys can check it out because it's wild to witness. And so, yeah, don't be that person. So, if I look into my own life, my clients, the people around me, and I look at the people who have the tendency to be lukewarm and the people who are lukewarm, okay? If I put them all in a group, what is the thing that they have in common? There was one word that came to me: wandering. These people wander. They wander. And what does that mean? There is no direction. Now, I am all for a good wandering to get lost, then to discover yourself, right? I love that journey. However, there is kind of a time period for that. Like, hello, like we ain't gonna do this for years, decades by being lukewarm and wandering because that is just energy being leaking out, energy that could be used for yourself as fuel. And that is just energy that is just has no direction to go. And this pattern, just like how you do one thing is how you do everything, leaks into other aspects of your life. So this directionlessness energy, chaotic energy, mind you, swirling around and you just going from here to here, don't know what you know, don't have any opinions because you don't want to disturb the flow or the peace. This is very obvious to witness in someone who moves through life in this way. There are degrees to this. There's levels and there's layers. But we're talking about the people who really have a difficulty in standing their ground and being just confident in speaking what they know and how they know it. And even if they are not perfect, they're able to just speak what's on their mind, on their heart, and be able to release that from their body instead of pushing it back in, having it be hidden in the fear that I am not worthy or valued, or who am I to say my opinion? It doesn't even matter. No one's going to hear me. That type of mentality already tells me how you speak to yourself, how you speak to any other opportunity that's around you. Oh, I can't get that job because I don't have this, and they're looking for a person that can do this X, Y, and Z, and I just don't. Honestly, in this world, not everybody plays nice. Not everybody plays thinking about and everybody else. And I'm not saying that you go out there and step on people and throw them under the bus. No. It's more so that you do not give permission to those people who are already so okay with stepping over people and throwing them under the bus to throw you under the bus. You do not give them that permission because if you give them that permission, that gives them the permission to do that to somebody else and then somebody else and then somebody else and somebody else. And here we are. I really believe that one person, that ripple effect of change, just by you focusing on yourself, changes everything, everyone and anything around you, literally. And so, this is why it's so important that if you have an opinion, and everybody has opinions, is that you're able to direct that energy by your means, by where you want to direct it. You're not just tossing it out there and then just letting it land. You are the one that anchors it and the one that directs it. And one more thing about the wandering is just when you wander, it's because you don't know. You haven't tried. There's no direction, there's no structure, there's no plan. Okay? So, time to get the plan started. And it's not like you got to do it all at once. It's just take a little baby steps, you know? We're human. We human. We got a lot of things going on in our day to day. So it's all about finding ways that you can really show up for yourself based on where you are. And you got to be kind to yourself like that. And just as you would do to somebody else, you would do back to yourself. So now, I mentioned how it's not that you don't have opinions, right? Guys, like, let's be real. Behind closed doors, I bet you have hella opinions. I bet you know even the quietest person at home, oh, they got a lot of opinions. So the issue is not that we don't have opinions. The issue is that we are afraid to vocalize our opinions when that means that somebody else may receive it and go against us or oppose us or think that, oh, how can she think that? Oh my gosh. All of these negative thoughts start coming in and they start affecting you. And that is because you are not steady. Your nervous system is not regulated within your own self. So when somebody comes at you about something you believe, you take it as a personal attack. And just know that beliefs, perspectives, thoughts, these are constantly changing and morphing and evolving. It's also understanding that you in itself is constantly evolving. So it's unfair to expect yourself to stay the same year after year after year after year when you are meant to move, you are meant to grow. And that means we have to do certain things that are a little bit difficult, but it helps us be more confident and helps us show up to the world more authentically, confidently, and just knowing who you are. And that also stems from self-love. Hey, I don't I'm not saying that everything I say is right, but I have self-love and self-respect for myself and my voice that even if majority of people listening to this are like, she's crazy, she don't know what she's talking about, but I'm speaking to someone that does feel like I know what I'm talking about, does feel like I'm talking directly to them, then that's all that matters. And it took a while for me to actually get there, honestly, because I also was taking what people would think about me and their projections and take it personally and really get hurt by that, especially being a highly sensitive person. I did not value my own opinion to be spoken in a room. I did not value my words to live and breathe in the ecosystem. And that is sad. That is sad. Oh my gosh. See, I'm getting a little bit emotional. Yeah, guys. Emotional because when you're not used to using that voice, it's scary, and my voice used to shake a lot, like if I was speaking in front of a bunch of people. And I also, within that, I got it sent right back to me. But through that practice, in a way, I was able to gauge myself and get a better understanding of who I am. And I'm glad I said it. I'm glad I said that, even though my voice shook, because fuck yeah, because I did that. I did that even though I was so scared. I did that. And that gave me a sort of confidence that trickled into everything else. And so that's why I'm saying, like, it is so important just to take one little step, one little micro step. And if you can't even take a micro of a micro. Like, what is it? Like a nano micro? I don't know. Take even smaller than that, okay? It's all about meeting you where you are. Change the lens. Change the lens to meet you where you are so that you're able to be successful, so that you're able to set certain expectations for yourself that you're able to hit. Like, let's be real. And during that process, you will discover yourself and you will know who you are at the core at that time. And that thing will evolve, but you will understand and remember who you are. Remember that power. Take your power and light back and put it back where it belongs. Okay? Woo! Woo, 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 woo! I feel amazing. Oh my gosh. I hope that if you're still with me right now, oh, thank you so much. You don't know how much is about to change for you. Okay, and before I finish, value your self respect, value your own opinion, value your presence. Value when you are called to a place, know that there's a purpose for you there. If you feel as though you want to say something, but you feel nervous because there's just people that you don't know, or there's people that maybe don't know your stance on things, just know that there's no reason that your energy has shown up at that exact moment, at that exact place, with those exact people for nothing. And that is where you have to develop a relationship with the self, a love, a nurturing relationship with the self. You have to be your own mother and father and your best friend and your sibling, like all of that. If there's something you get out of anything from today, it's about valuing your self respect. And that is the cure to being lukewarm. It's not about being bold. It's not about being loud. It's not about being a know it all. It's about self respect and showing up in that way. Just as you would want your friend that you love so much, your child, to show up in front of a crowd and let their voice be heard, just like that. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more you do it, you'll be so surprised at what kind of roads open up for you, who starts to come in and out of your space, and the opportunities that just will transform you. And if you are really ready to do this and take these steps of not being that lukewarm person, just know that when you commit, roads will open up for you. Opportunities will come on your lap. And these opportunities may not all be of same and equal weight, but these opportunities are an inside look deeper into who you are, what you're about, what this life, your life is about, what kind of role you're meant to play. All of that is so exciting and it's such a fun journey. And I'm excited for you. So, wow, this channel has been amazing. Oh, I feel activated. I feel so, so good and clear right now. So, if you are watching this, you also are activated. You're in the activation portal with me. All you got to do, self respect and take divine action. You don't need to know the end goal, but little steps. Make a plan, even if that's on a bullet note. I love just writing little messages on my mirrors with my whiteboard marker also. Things like that, making sure that you have set yourself up for success. And just know that when an opportunity arises for you to act on that, that's your time to shine. And if you get stuck, change the lens. I had so much fun filming this video today. I have other ways that you can work with me. If you would like to dive into this deeper for you in particular, I have links down below that you can book for a private reading, both online and in person, or you can try my different services that I have. The psychic nail experience is my specialty, which I blend beauty, symbolism, art, and magic all in one to catapult you to your highest timeline. Walking vision boards on your fingers to remind you of the lessons and the things that we are working through at that now time. So, yes, breathe, smile, smile through life. Honestly, like nothing's better than smiling and laughter. So, yes, guys, until next time, love yourself, trust in the divine, and you did not find me for no reason.